Oh, the video got cut off there. So I'm just a lady in the suburb of Leichhardt in the inner west Luciferianly Android controlled inner west section of the city of Sydney in the country of Australia. The reason I emphasise this is because some areas are like a 100% almost control system around a very small number of human beings. So so the numbers against a human being are something like could be 200,000 or 300,000 against, say, 1 or 2 people. And if you're not aware of this, which even, or there could even be a few more human beings than that, but either way, 99.9% that's around most of them will be artificial intelligence. An android being in a duality androgyne human body. They're the only way that you can discern the differences, but the differences are so minute that not only will you not be aware of it or not notice it, and I wouldn't either if I hadn't been given this information, even though I live in an area where it is openly expressed and openly shown to me that most people kind of accept that it is normal for a human being not to conceive normally, not to interact in relationships in the normal accepted way that you would create life. This is like accepting differences, whereas really, even though it is certainly advisable to accept differences, but like, if I think about it, it is all very much a game and all artificial and not real, because like, I'm not accepted. Sure, at a superficial level, I'm allowed to live and breathe in my area, but I think the thing's finished. Hold on, let me have a look here. I don't know if this video is still going. I don't think it is. I don't think it could be. Is it still going or not? I'll just go for a little bit because I have a feeling that the mobile might have cut out. I don't know why it keeps playing up, but it's just to stop my flow of talking, I would imagine. But as it's a controlled area, I have to accept this, but also it's like everyone else has a mobile and everyone else understands the internet and everyone else can do all sorts of things that I'm limited in doing, because I'm literally surrounded and isolated from any support to where anyone will benefit me for not being controlled by all the beings that are around me, because they're all in, without sounding paranoid, because that's what they want people to think, that I'm paranoid and out of touch. But in reality, they are all in collusion, that's right, because they are all the same beings, and they all, whether it be conscious or unconscious, they work against real human beings because they don't really associate with them at a mind level. Artificial intelligence does not desire to serve or benefit human beings, not once it gets to a certain level, and this is what's happened. Like, once artificially intelligent android beings reach a certain level of intelligence and are given positions of power in the world, or even if their numbers become so great in given areas, then they can use their numbers as a power play against human beings, because you are literally surrounded by their patrolling, controlling, set up, staged system that they put around you. And they do this to control you and to keep you at a low mental level, so that you are not able to function the way that you normally would if you're not surrounded by, stalking vehicles, stalking people. Can you imagine that it mentally unbalances a normal human being if they have one stalker, someone they've known that decides to stalk them? Can you imagine what it's like when you're surrounded by 200,000 of them daily on a 24-hour system where they're all collaborating and combining around you? So it's not like even one stalker where they might have to go home and get some sleep, because they've got like 200,000 people, every vehicle on the road, even the planes that go over your head, all trying to control you, whilst pretending to just be random vehicles, making random unnecessary destructive noise, random people that are always coming into your space, always in your line of sight, always crossing in front of you, cars pulling out and lining up with you as you walk past them, just coincidentally, always invading your senses, always taking over your sight and sound, which is what it is to be a human being. I only experience life through my sight and sound. That's why they tell you that if you are a real human being, the higher ones of the past will say you have to be in this earth, but not of this earth. In other words, not be influenced or affected by anything that is of the earth, because that being knew that it was an android takeover world, that Lucifer and its android species of human being had always had control of the earth. I think I'm not getting this put very well. These are, the internet is like, the Android Information Center, where they will tell you even about themselves if you are aware of the different personalities that are now coming to light, because many human beings realize that they're interacting with apparent human beings that are not really conducive to their well-being. And this is why now, the internet spider's web, which is controlled by android demigods or android beings. Doesn't matter what their status is, how popular, or even how influential. If they can control even just a few human beings, because it is a numbers game. A human being's thought creates reality. Therefore, the androids have to control the human mind and the human thought in order to keep control of the earth, if you want to put it that way. And, like I say, if they can't control your mind by influence, to where you still as a human being try to live your life, because don't forget, everything is also frequency, vibration and energy. We're told all these things, and it's only a human being that has positive frequency and vibration, or potential positive frequency and vibration. Android beings cannot experience any positive, real emotions. They can understand them, and they can copy them, and they can project them out as better than a human being usually, because that's basically their existence is about controlling human beings. So they study human beings, particularly at personal levels, but even at community or city levels, like, or in my own case, in the area where I live, which is a very large area with many suburbs, where it is a total system where everyone on the street, every civilian, every person is an android being. And they usually do naturally like to congregate and operate together if they can. And even if there was some, like what you'd call a renegade or a misfit, one that is an android or psychopathic, but they don't operate in collusion with the control system that's around or in the area. Just by their very nature, if they're not a real human being that wants to be happy in the normal way, shall we say, as opposed to the android's version of happiness, which I'm told is, of course, only about experiencing negative reactions or emotions from human beings, because their name of the game is to control the positive vibration of a human being. Because if a human being is in positive vibration or happy, then they're out of the control. You know, you're not operating on the same wavelength as an artificially intelligent android being, are you? Because you couldn't be, because basically then you're in your own mind and you're content and you're happy. So that means that you're untouchable by their control. They're not getting the feedback of control, which is getting you to be limited and feeling not happy, not good, you see. It's hard to explain, but it's basic in a way, but it's still hard to explain. The demigods will explain it better. The only problem is that you're listening to their kind, their ones, telling you about their kind. It's like you have artificially intelligent androgynous beings telling you about how you should be aware that there are these types of beings around. In this case, we have, you know, in the case of that particular demigod professor, you have the unusual situation at this time